Okay, so we're trading the ES on a 2000 tick chart with the 21 EMA. We started in this downtrend, and I was looking for the overnight low and highs, so I put it there. I thought that the overnight low looked best here, but it was kind of hard to find today because it was just right. It started out in a downtrend. So we have this downtrend working lower, and then price pulls back to where the overnight low is. It wasn't quite off of it, but there is room to move it around because of these long wicks. Eventually, I did lower it to here, where it's off of these highs right here, these lows. So anyway, the first trade started off in the downtrend, off the key entry point. The short-term uptrend had a break and a new high, so the short-term uptrend is played out, which means it's safe to look for a long. I mean, safe to look for a short in the downtrend. We got an entry right off the key entry point with a good signal bar and plenty of room down to the EMA. So I think that trade is good. I took that trade and thought it was really good. And so then we get a first entry long, second entry long failure. So this one closed above the EMA, um, but we did touch the key entry point again, and it is the one, two, three, fourth bounce, you know third micro touch there. So I thought that it was all right to take. I went for 1-to-1 on both of these trades. I made a lot on this trade. So push down, and then we have another correction, which is where the entries are after a correction to the key entry point. We get a first entry short, second entry short. We don't get a very good setup. You can't enter on that signal bar, of course. Um, if you took the engulfing bar, then I don't really like taking engulfing bars, um, just because the bars can end up closing back up. But it did work out really well. And then we get a first entry long, second entry long failure, but it's not off the EMA or the key entry point, so I decided to skip that. So then we keep going down, and then we finally get a break of the channel, which we did have two undershoots, or three, and so we can expect a break soon. So then we got a break. We went into this uptrend right here with a break and a new high, so now it's safe to look for shorts again, and it's off the overnight lows now. So I was looking for a short here. There's no setup here. It's just chop, just, doji bars, no entries. Then we rush back below the EMA and rush back above. So now it's kind of starting to look like a range. It's going sideways. Um, and there's no real entry here. I didn't like taking anything right here. Um, so then it pushed back down, and now we have these two legs down. So at this point, it's downtrend, break, and two attempts to make a new low. And because it was two attempts, usually market will either make a new low or it'll give two attempts and then reverse. And so I decided to buy here because we have basically a second entry long. Downtrend failed to play out, good signal bar, and there's enough room to the EMA. I got out right at the EMA. So very good day today for me. But then we push up, we get a second leg up, a third leg up, and then we just chop back below the EMA. And so now it's really looking choppy. There's no highs or lows for this range really, but it is starting to get harder to trade because it's sideways and it's getting choppier. And so then we have these two legs up, and then we push back below, back above, first entry long, second entry long, failure. And so we have a failed second entry right here, except I don't really like it just because it's so congestive right there, and there's possible lows around here. They're not consistent, but you don't really want to enter into that. So I decided not to take anything here. Here, right here, there's kind of a breakout pullback, and it is with the trend, except it's far from the EMA. It did close, kind of closed in. Yeah, it closed in. So it's just not very good looking. Plus, there's two legs down there, so we could just go higher in this possible range. But it does work for a scalp. Then we go back up and drawing these highs, moving this down to here once it moves down to here. First it was like that, but eventually I did think that it looks better here. So now we have a second big downtrend for the day. So we have 1, 2, 3 over here, so 3 touches, and then here was my last trade of the day. Got a first entry long, second entry long, failure. So it's a failed second entry off the key entry point, and it's a breakout pullback in a downtrend. So it looks very good, perfect signal bar, and it closed out of the range when it made the breakout pullback. So very good looking trade to me. I didn't have any losers today. Usually I'll have, a loser a couple days a week, but today was really good. I got multiple trades without any losses. So a very good day. But anyway, we bounce off the key entry point. It's the move of the day. I wish I went for 1 to 2 on this trade. So I went for 1 to 1. So 3¼ points right there. Although, wait a minute, that's on the tick. So I did actually get, I got 3½ points on that trade because I entered with a stop order. So I should have recognized that it is very bearish. Many of the swings today are getting 1 to 2, so I should have gone for, looks like 28 ticks. I easily could have gotten that. But either way, we head down, we undershoot, which means we could break soon. Another attempt to reach the other side of the range, we don't make it, and then we get a reversal pattern out of the range. So first entry short, second entry short, second entry short is all the way up here. So there's no good reversal pattern to take. You definitely can't go long all the way up there, really far from the EMA after a very extended move. Plus it's just down anyway, so you don't want to buy. So we go into this uptrend. We have a break, expecting a new high. First attempt, second attempt failed. Now if this failed second entry, first entry long, second entry long failure, if this happened below the EMA, then I think this would have been a good trade to take. But it happened above the EMA, and a good reversal pattern will shoot through the EMA. So I don't think this is a good trade to take at all. And then we have a leg down from that move. Then we get a first entry short, second entry short all the way up here. You definitely don't want to go short on that bar. You definitely don't want to take the reversal pattern either, the failed second entry. Because just like over here, it's really extended. It's far from the EMA. It's just a terrible looking trade. So now with these two highs and this low, and the fact that the EMA is flat, looks like a roller coaster, I drew a range. And then we had 2 legs down to the other side of the range, a double bottom. I didn't want to take that just because of the bearish bias. So, and also because I'm sure if you draw this short-term downtrend, it did close in, it looks like, so that's not good. Then we go back up, first entry short, second entry short, failure. Obviously not a good setup. Even if you did take it, you wouldn't be able to go for 1 to 1. I know a lot of the people watching don't go for 1 to 1, but I always go for 1 to 1. And there's good trades that I won't take because they're not 1 to 1. But when I did eventually start only going for 1 to 1 trades that have room and are perfect and aren't going into any resistance before 1 to 1, I started getting way more profitable, and it actually changed my trading when I stopped going for trades that I thought wouldn't get 1 to 1. So I guess that's the day. I'll try to find something else to talk about. Let's see. Let's look at this downtrend, this short-term downtrend right here. So you don't want to go short far away from the EMA, obviously. And so we have the short-term downtrend, a break, first attempt to go higher, and then second attempt to go higher is where it did go higher. And so this downtrend, short-term downtrend, played out with a break and a new low before it reversed, because that's how channels work. Even the big channels, this channel downtrend, break, new low, price goes into a range. That's fairly common. And then here, downtrend, break, new low, and then price went into a little range. It happens on all time frames. You can clearly see it. Um, yeah, I guess this day's done. Well, I'll see y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Thanks.